Have you ever wondered what's hiding in the shadows of the internet? We all know the web we use every day, the one where we watch videos, chat with friends, and search for answers to our endless questions. It's like the busy streets of a bright, bustling city. But just like every city has its alleyways and secret passages, the digital world has its own hidden corners. Welcome to the Curious Crew, and today we're going on an adventure to answer a question that's both fascinating and a little mysterious. What is the dark web? The Internet Iceberg. Now, before you start imagining a spooky, literal dark place, or maybe picture someone typing away furiously in a dark hoodie, let's get something straight. The dark web isn't a location you can visit physically. It's a part of the internet, just not the part we see. To understand it, let's think about the whole internet like an iceberg floating in the ocean. Most of us spend all our time on the part of the iceberg that sticks out above the water. This is the surface web, or the visible web. As our adventurous boy might imagine it, this is the wide-open playground. Everything here is indexed by search engines like Google, Bing, or DuckDuckGo. When you search for funny cat videos, the search engine easily points you right to the results. It's public, searchable, and easy to access. This includes social media sites, news websites, online stores, and public blogs. If you can find it by typing keywords into a search bar, you are on the surface web. And believe it or not, this part only makes up a tiny fraction of the entire internet. Estimates suggest it's maybe 4 to 10%. Imagine only seeing the very top layer of your favorite cake. That's the surface web. Now, let's go a bit deeper, just below the waterline. Understanding the deep web. This is the vast middle section of the iceberg, called the deep web. If the surface web is the public library's reading room, the deep web is the locked archive stacks. It sounds mysterious, but you actually use it every single day. The deep web includes anything online that's protected by a login, a password, or some form of security. Your email inbox? That's on the deep web. Your online banking portal? Deep web. The results page for your private medical records, the dashboard where your school grades are posted, and even cloud storage folders like Google Drive or Dropbox, they are all part of the vast, deep web. These pages aren't indexed by search engines. If you searched for your own private emails on Google, you wouldn't find them. That's a good thing. It keeps our private information secure. As our enthusiastic analytical girl might point out, the deep web is all about structure and authorized access. It's enormous, hundreds of times larger than the surface web. In fact, most of the internet lives right here. So, where does the dark web fit in? Let's go way down to the very bottom of our iceberg, the part deepest underwater, the most hidden and hard to reach. Defining the dark web. This is the dark web. It's actually a small portion of the deep web, but it's very different. Unlike the surface web, you can't get to the dark web using a regular browser like Chrome, Safari, or Firefox. And unlike the deep web, it's not just about password protecting private info. The dark web is intentionally built using special software and complex technology to be anonymous. Think of it like this. On the surface web, your computer has an address, like your home address, and when you visit a website, both you and the website know where each other are. On the deep web, you have to prove you are allowed in before you get the address. But on the dark web, everything is designed to keep addresses and identities a complete secret. So, how does anyone get there, and how did something like this even start? How Tor works. The main tool people use is called Tor, which stands for the Onion Router. Now, why would our analytical girl be intrigued by onions? Well, it's not because she loves cooking, it's because of layers. Tor wasn't created by mysterious figures. It was actually developed by researchers at the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory in the 1990s. The goal was simple: to protect government communications online. They needed a way for agents and intelligence officers to share information without anyone being able to track who they were or where they were communicating from. Imagine you want to send a secret note to your friend. Instead of walking directly to their desk, which anyone could see, you give the note, which is inside several envelopes, to a classmate. That classmate opens the first envelope, reads only instructions that say, "Give the next envelope to another classmate," and does exactly that. The next classmate does the same thing, until finally, the last classmate opens the final envelope and delivers the note to your friend. No single person in the chain knows the whole story. They only know who they received the envelope from and who they passed it to next. They don't know who started it, and they don't know what's inside the innermost envelope. Tor works in a very similar digital way. When you use the Tor browser, your internet request doesn't go straight to the website. Instead, it gets wrapped in multiple layers of encryption, like our envelopes, and sent through a random path of special relay computers, all run by volunteers around the world. Each relay only removes one layer of encryption to reveal its next destination. By the time your request reaches its target website, the information identifying you, like your location and computer's address, has been completely hidden. And the website's response takes the same complicated, anonymous route back. Use and anonymity. Our curious boy might be thinking, "Wow, that sounds incredibly useful." And he'd be right. Because of this anonymity, the dark web became home to many different groups. Yes, there is definitely a dark side. Because it's so hard to trace who is doing what, it has unfortunately become a marketplace for all sorts of illegal activity. Criminals buy and sell stolen data, like credit card numbers or usernames and passwords that were taken in large hacks. There are markets for illegal substances, dangerous tools, and other things that definitely shouldn't be for sale. This is often the part people are talking about when they hear scary stories. And just like a dark alley, it's not a place you'd want to go exploring casually. Many sites are dangerous, and some are just scams, trying to trick people. But this isn't the only story. The same anonymity that criminals use is also crucial for people who need to be hidden to stay safe. Journalists use the dark web to communicate safely with whistleblowers, brave people inside organizations who want to expose wrongdoing without getting caught. Human rights activists in countries with very strict governments, where speaking out can be dangerous, use Tor to organize, share information with the outside world, and access information that their government might have blocked, like certain news sites or social media platforms. Major organizations recognize this need for private communication too. Several respected news outlets, including the New York Times and the BBC, maintain onion sites on the dark web, so people in restrictive places can read trustworthy news securely. There are even legitimate libraries and forums focused on freedom of speech, where our clever cat might find it's easier to observe everything from a safe, hidden distance. So, this brings us to the final big question. How anonymous are you really on the dark web? Well, Tor is powerful, but it's not perfect. It's more like wearing a very good disguise than being truly invisible. As our analytical girl would emphasize, total digital anonymity is extremely difficult to achieve. First, your internet service provider, the company that connects your home to the internet, can still tell that you are using Tor. They just can't see what you are doing once you're on it. Second, the Tor browser itself has settings to keep you safe, but if you change them, you could accidentally reveal your identity. For example, some files you download could run a hidden program that pings your real computer's information back to someone. Third, and perhaps most importantly, you can still give yourself away. If you visit an anonymous forum and use the same username you have on Instagram, you aren't very anonymous anymore. Or if you use Tor but still log into your regular, non-anonymous email account or buy something using a credit card that has your real name on it, you've broken your own disguise. Your real-world identity gets linked directly to your anonymous dark web activity. Law enforcement is also constantly developing clever new methods to track down criminals. They can run their own relay computers to try and analyze traffic patterns or use sophisticated techniques to find hidden weaknesses. So, while the dark web offers a high level of anonymity, it is definitely not a magical get-out-of-any-trace card. If someone is determined and has enough resources, they can sometimes piece the puzzle together. It's a constant, high-tech game of digital hide-and-seek. Summary and conclusion. The dark web is a complex, surprising, and often controversial part of our digital universe. It's not just one single scary place, but a technology with two very different faces. It's a powerful tool for freedom of speech and protecting privacy in a world where our personal information is more accessible than ever before. But it's also a tool that can be, and is, easily misused for harm. This brings us to a mind-bending question, one that our curious boy, analytical girl, and observant cat will be thinking about for a long time. In our highly connected world, where should we draw the line? Is complete digital anonymity a fundamental right that everyone deserves to protect their privacy and freedom? Or is it a dangerous idea that allows harmful activities to flourish in the shadows, threatening everyone's safety? Think about that the next time you're browsing your favorite visible websites. There's a whole other world beneath the surface, and its lessons about secrets, security, and anonymity might just be some of the most important ones for our future. Thanks for exploring with the Curious Crew, and remember, always stay curious. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.